We grind every week. So only then the flavor can be retained. Only then, you get those aroma, that authenticity into your dishes. Otherwise, no.
Dirty Linen is back for 2022 in earnest. I hope you've enjoyed our summer series. If you haven't had a listen, please do catch up. We've spoken to lots of really cool people about their favourite dishes, and every episode, they're short, sharp bites. Every episode made me extremely hungry, and I'm sure it will do the same for you. But today we're looking forward. We've got our first guest of the year, and I suppose the start of the year is a really good time to, reflect and look forward, think about what we want the show to be. And although times are still a little bit swirly and changing at the moment, I still feel like there are some themes that I want to focus on. And one of them is definitely women in hospitality. So I thought it was really important to lead off with a strong woman who's doing exciting things. So that is what we're doing today. So our first guest is Sreelekha Mekala. She is the founder and owner of Chai and Dosa, which is a food truck and also soon to be a restaurant or eatery in Braybrook in the west of Melbourne. Sree, welcome to Dirty Linen.
Hi, Dani. Thank you so much. That was a pretty cool introduction. And thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Well, I'm just really excited to have another chat to you. I spoke to you a few weeks ago after visiting Chai and Dosa, and just really having the kind of food experience that makes me really excited. It's when you get there, it's on a corner. It doesn't look fancy. It's in the far west of Melbourne, near a shopping centre. It's let's just say it doesn't feel like it's a Michelin star experience, but there's just a crowd of people waiting for their dosa, ordering their dosa, and a few people in the truck busily making it. And I just knew, I could just tell, I could just feel, I could sense that it was going to be delicious. Everything was so carefully made, and it was just injected with such obvious passion. So I really just so excited and grateful that you've brought this experience to Braybrook and to Melbourne. And I'm excited for the listeners to learn a bit more about you and what you're doing there. So thank you, first of all.
Thank you, Dani. That was so nice of you. I think it's all about the vibe that we wanted to create. It's all the positivity around, and then we just do the right thing, and then obviously, you get attracted, and having so much eye on the quality and then the consistency, that it all makes up to that feeling and the vibe that you've got there. That's exactly what we were looking at, to achieve all through the years and the experience that we have got and what we have learned in cooking and all that. So, we started off as nothing, just selling 1 or 2 dosas in a day, because we didn't know how to market, we didn't know how to start, where to go, because I was all alone doing everything in the truck that you see right now. So it all came up because there are quite generous people out there and very kind. They were so supportive, and they have encouraged us so pretty well that we are standing here today doing a podcast with Dani.
Great. Well, it's definitely not the culmination of your journey, Sree. It's amazing what you do. But look, so you mentioned that you started with nothing. So tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself, because you didn't come to Australia from Hyderabad to make dosa, right? Like, tell us the story.
No, see, I came to study to do my master's in the University of Melbourne. So I've joined my master's in information technology. So I've finished. I've also had a chance to work with some of the great IT professors, and I have also done my research paper on data mining and artificial intelligence and then machine learning. But then whatever I do, I just give my 100%. So that's where this grit and then, all this have come from. I think that's there since my childhood. But then back in Hyderabad, when I first, when I finished my bachelor's, I always had this thought of opening a food truck. I used to watch some, New York series on food trucks, trucks and all that. And I was so fascinated to start one of that kind of food trucks in India. I didn't know, there were much food trucks in Hyderabad. I think there were no food trucks in Hyderabad back then. Maybe there were some in Mumbai or, some Delhi or some metropolitan cities, but not in Hyderabad for sure. I always wanted to start this food truck. And then even when I was doing, my software job back in Wipro, I used to work for Wipro in Hyderabad. I used to go around and look for some corner places and, and then think of, hey, you know what, this place would be the right place for my food truck. I had a vision of selling this food and then call it like this, all that, I always used to dream about it. But then obviously that didn't happen because we had pretty tight jobs, and then we were so into client meetings, calls, and always packed up even on weekends. So yeah, I couldn't do much of it. And then we moved to Bangalore. I tried there. That didn't happen. Finally, I thought of, let's just go abroad and then do my master's, because I thought I've gained some experience in IT, and then let's, continue further. So when we came to Melbourne for my master's in the University of Melbourne, I went around again. There were not many food trucks, but there were some in Werribee, in that area, and that's it. But then, I couldn't because because I couldn't afford for my master's itself. I had to do some odd jobs, and my husband had to do. Luckily, he got a pretty good job in IT as well as soon as we came here, because of his experience in Microsoft and all that. So all this happened. I finished my master's pretty quickly. The 2 years master's I've completed in 1 year, because I wanted to finish quickly and then earn money to pay off my debts and loans and everything. So luckily I got a job in Dell after my master's. So we moved to Sydney. I've tried there again, and finally when we bought a house here in Melbourne, we came back to Melbourne. After joining a job, another IT company in Melbourne, in the first 3 months, I have decided, what, I should at least try now. This is it. And I cannot keep on going, postponing my passion, and I cannot keep on, for how long will I not do what I want to do? So one fine day, that was on my husband's birthday, I remember, and the gift that I gave him was, hey dude, I left my job. He was like, what the hell, what have you done? That's it. And then I asked him for 3 months, just give me 3 months. I'm going to try, and I'm going to do what all I can do. And then if that doesn't work out, I always have my I can always look for another job. But then, I thought that day I should never go back to my job, and then I should keep on doing what I want to do. So I went. I didn't know driving. I didn't have a car. And most of it, I didn't have money in my bank, okay, to spend, to go around, to shop around, nothing. So, but then luckily I had very nice people, that came across to me. And then I went to this food truck guy. He helped me out, get a finance from, one of his vendors and all that. So that happened, and then I went back to India to learn some, my mom's and my mother-in-law's recipes and all that. I gathered. I created my own recipe book from my mom, my aunts, my in-laws, and all that. I came back. I started this, but that didn't go well because I think I chose a wrong spot. I don't know, or maybe I couldn't deliver what people wanted in that area. Then it went around for like 2 weeks. I had to go door to door, knock their doors, ask them to try, and then give them a feedback. I go again, and then I go again. Every day I go, feed them with whatever I make in the truck, and then come back, but nobody would turn up the next day. That was so disappointing. I was super depressed. Yeah, and then because I'm putting in the money every week because I had to pay for the rent guy who rented me the food truck. And then I had to pay the rents, I had to pay for the gas, water, everything, electricity. It went on for like 1.5 months. And then finally I said, you know what, we need to change the way what we are doing. Of course, we might be in the right, field, but then what I'm doing might not be the right thing at the right time, And then the truck came back home, and then I spoke to the guys and asked for like, give me 2 more months, to pay back the rents and all. So halted. the lease has been halted. And then finally, I went again, I took a train. I walked around and I found a spot in Braybrook, which was in the go-karting area. There was a nice big, electrical plug. I only knew that would fit my truck's plug, because it has to be that kind of amps, like 3 amps, I don't know. So I went inside, I spoke to him, you know what, if you could give me this place for rent for the next at least 6 months, I want to try this, and this. Okay. He already had a kebab shop just besides. So I went to him and I said, this is what I've got. I don't have money. I only have $100 in my bank. I can give you that as an advance. Once the month is done, once I earn something, I'm going to pay you something. Okay. I cannot promise you how much, but he was so good. That was the first encounter of a very nice man. And then, who helped me indirectly or directly to start whatever I want to do. So we went there all by myself. I hanged up some lights. I've done, some posters and all that. I've started a Facebook account on Chai and Dosa. I was never active on Facebook, never active on Instagram, nothing. Okay. So I went there. And then the first day, I took my husband. He was there with my kid. We three were there serving along with my sister. She used to help me. She was studying here. So I took her help. We all were standing, and the first order for the idli, I remember, we were so nervous serving that idli, and then it turned out pretty good. He went around, he said, yeah, he has that mouth publicity actually, the quality of the food that we serve and the passion that we had showed him. Like, I think he went and spoke to his friends. His friends came around, and then his neighbors, his friends, we never literally did any kind of marketing anywhere. After that, 1 week, I took like 2 days off, like Saturdays and Sunday was my off. Just like, I followed the IT offs, regular offs in my food truck business also. Then I thought, let me just do some marketing. And then I printed my own pamphlets. I went around each house in Braybrook, Footscray, and, most of the streets I went around, and then I kept on, putting the pamphlets in their mailboxes, and suddenly there was a crowd the next Monday. It was so huge that we were sold out in like 3 hours. And then the crowd, yeah, really. We were open from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, but then we were like sold out 10:30 every single day the next week. That's how it started. And then, the pamphlets have stopped, everything have stopped. It's all, mouth publicity. They've liked my food. I mean, the recipe, the authenticity, the originality that it had. And of course, the passion that I want to, what I want to do for my craft. I think that's the main thing, whoever want to start a business or do what they want to do, that thing, like, the passion that you show to people, what you want to do, and, that commitment that makes you deliver what you want to deliver. And that would reach height. I mean, you would reach heights, and that vibe, the positive vibe that you give that's what have, made us come so far. We have moved places, we have changed trucks, a lot of, ups and downs. And then we were this COVID, staff, employment, salaries. And then suddenly one day, one of the staff did something, and then we had, the truck was on fire, and a lot of things happened, But then, yeah, we came out of the ashes like the phoenix, rising from the ashes. And then we are here.
Wow, Sree.
Yeah.
Wow. It's an amazing story, because I just think about you a few years ago, and I think when you first started, you were just like walking up and down the streets trying to give your food away. That was in Melton, right? Like,
yeah, that was in Melton. Yeah, I started on High Street in Melton.
Okay, and then where you are now, I mean, in Braybrook, it seems like there's quite a strong Indian community there, and especially South Indian community, which is the food that you do. I mean, do you think that's important, or do you think it's just, I don't know, just the marketing?
No, Dani, no, I don't think so. See, for my business, especially, marketing was just mouth publicity. We have literally done Nothing. I think I have, see, by foot, how many pamphlets can you deliver to the mailboxes? Hardly 100, 200. That's all I could do. But then, even though they come to you for the first time, they have to be able to come back to you the second time as well. How will that happen? Only, every time you deliver that food, only then you're going to get that repeated crowd. Only then the footfall will be so huge. We are getting sold out every single day. The sambar, you will not believe, we make like close to 80 liters one session. That will be sold out by 11 o'clock. After 11, you would not be getting sambar from us. So it's like that. So that happens every single day. So what I'm trying to tell here is, after you see the crowd, you shouldn't be too greedy of, what you're getting. If you have that consistency, definitely you'll have that repeated crowd. Otherwise, no, definitely no, because we have seen a lot of food trucks. They come to us, they ask us, how have you, so how have you done all this? We give them the details, we give them how to go to the council, we give them where did we get the truck from, the council, the permits that you're supposed to do, the cleaning schedule, everything. But then, trust me, the first month, it's gonna be, because of that enthusiasm, it's gonna be okay. But then the second month, no.
So, Sree, I know that with dosas and idlis, the batters are the fermentation is so crucial to it, and the timing is so crucial. And also when you're making the masalas, like the spicing is so crucial. Tell us about some of the detail and the rigor that you go to make sure that everything's perfect.
Okay. All this also I have learned through experience. Okay. I started making dosa batters thrice a week initially, but then I figured out if you make it every single day, I mean the before night, okay, like how you do at homes. I just wanted to bring out that originality into every recipe. So as my mom, even if we do like huge batches, how are we supposed to do? And even my mother-in-law, she's like, no, you have to do it only the before day, only a day before. That's it. It only needs that, only that much of fermentation, that many hours of fermentation, and that's it. You don't have to keep it like in the fridge for days and days and days and then use it. Obviously, the dosas and the crisp that you want to get on your dosa is not right. So every single day we do all the batters. So we sell punugulu, we sell garalu, we sell dosa and idli, right? So all these batters are done every single day to be used the next day. Okay, and that's it. And then for the next day we do it again, and for the next day we do it again. So we have created our own small warm room where we have the heaters plugged in. The right temperatures have been maintained. All the batters will be shifted into the warm room, covered them nicely, and then we close the door. Okay, the next morning we remove the batters and then we use them. That's it. And it happens every single day. And the masalas, I grind it, my own recipe right from the scratch. If you're talking about the coriander powder, it has to be, roasted, dry roasted, nice and warm, and then cooled it and then grinded it. We put it in the airtight container. We grind every week. So only then the flavor can be retained. Only then, you get those aroma, that authenticity into your dishes. Otherwise, no. So I have learned it through very hard means, but then this is what it is. That's it. Only then you would be getting the taste of it.
And Sree, tell me about your employment policy and all the wonderful women that you've employed.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I always believe that women can do a lot more than what we are doing right now. The commitment and we always feel that, women are not physically strong, but trust me, women are very strong, even when compared to men. We don't have to go to gym. We don't have to do any, weights and all that, strength training. No, but we can do the batters. We can store them up. We can lift them up. We can do everything. Even the chutneys, we grind like 25 kilos of chutneys every day. All girls, we don't take help from anybody. So when my husband is here, he's the one who, puts everything into the van, the food van, and then he drives it. But rest all is being done by girls. I believe that very strongly, because who else can do, the job more committedly? We have been doing the household chores every single day, right? With the kids, like cleaning, dishes, mopping, vacuuming, clothes, laundry, and then cooking, all this. Can a man do this every single day for 365 days? I don't know why I get this, but then girls can. So I've tried with a lot of boys initially, they come for like a week. The next week they're gone. They say like, oh my God, no, we cannot do this. And then the next week, and then I employ another guy, and then he's like, hey, you know what? I can't make it today. And then, yeah, and then I had to do the whole thing again. Then I thought, okay, let's just try with the girls. However, in the truck, right from the beginning, we only had girls. Okay, like for dosas, idlis. After I got down from the truck, I used to do all the dosas, idlis, and bondas. But then when it became so busy, we had to employ. Okay, so I thought because they tend to grasp things faster. That's what I believe. Everybody has their own perceptions, but what I believe is. Because we cook a lot at home, right? The vada, dosa, and all. I thought, okay, let's try with the girls. And then the first employee, she was like super quick, and then she learned everything very quickly. And then I had to hire 2 more girls, and then it went on like that. But
they're not necessarily Indian women, though, are they?
No, we have all nations. We have Ethiopian, we have Australian, we have Torres Strait Islanders, and then we have Myanmar, Nepal, we have how many? Yeah, we have all the nations working for us. All, yeah.
To me, I mean, this is such a fantastic Australian story for me. That you've come from another country, bringing this traditional food, and then sharing it not only with the people that come and eat it, but also with the people that work with you. It's just such a beautiful multicultural story.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dani. So yeah, I mean, basically everybody would be interested if you teach them. Yeah, you just have to have that patience to teach them properly, like in their own language. Maybe they would find it a little difficult to pronounce the names because they don't even know the masalas or anything that we use, right? So initially, instead of 2 weeks of training, they might need 1 month or 1.5. But once they get there, they're like absolutely amazing because the stamina that they've got, they're like absolutely amazing. I just can't tell you. I see no difference between Indians, Aussies, or Ethiopians or any. No, we all are equal. We all are same. We all just do the same. And they can also cook masala so well that you wouldn't say every day. In chai and dosa, you'll get the same taste. You can't even recognize who cooked it. Either it's an Aussie or an Indian or Sri Lankan or Ethiopian. No, you'll not know.
So Sree, you've got big plans for Chai and Dosa. Tell us what's in the wind.
So in Feb, hopefully, there's, if all the builders and the carpet and the plumbers are out of the Omicron thing, we would start opening a restaurant by the end of Feb. That's the agenda for now. And by the first week of March, we will be fully moved into the new restaurant. It's a huge one. We have got, I think the builder was telling me this is one of the biggest restaurants that they have built, even when compared to the local restaurants like the Australian restaurants. It might not be like a 5-star, huge, I mean to say the fancy one, but it is like the big, in the sense it's huge with all the like we have got 7 grinders to grind the batters. We have got like 6 of the dosa pans, and we have got 6 oil frying, the deep frying pans, and we have got all sorts of things. And then, yeah, we could cater at least 30 dosas in one go. Right now, we are only doing 8 dosas in one go. We would be doing 30 dosas in one go. So, because, yeah, just to make sure, we cut down on the waiting times, because currently the waiting times are like huge. 40 minutes, and on weekends. Today, if you go there, you have to wait for 1 hour minimum. So we don't want to hear that anymore. So we want to cut it down to 20 minutes or minimum, because one set of those 8 dosas would be taking 15 minutes to come out of the pan, and then wrap it and give it to you. It's going to take 15, but let's say give and take 20 minutes, we should be able to give 30 dosas in one go. So that's the whole plan. And then the masalas that we are grinding, we need huge machinery. So we need to get the machinery from India, and all the equipment that we have ordered from Germany. So they're all like the top class. And then after all this is sorted, our plan is to start our own retail store, or the wholesale store, I would say, for the grocery. So we have leased the building next to us. That's a huge kind of warehouse, I would say. So for 2022, we should be able to start our retail store as well, along with the restaurant. That's the agenda for 2022. 2023, I think we would be starting another branch of Chai and Dosa somewhere closer to the CBD, or maybe to the eastern suburbs. Yeah, that's it as of now. Let's see what's in store for future.
So it sounds like, Sree, that the world of IT has lost you to the world of food. Can you ever imagine going back to an office job?
You know what? We haven't left IT behind. If you see, the truck has got all the sophisticated equipment that is needed to deliver a dosa. What I mean is, the POS systems or the kitchen display systems, the KDSs that we call, are all integrated. Like if you take an order, it would automatically be, see all the dosas, it would segregate and then go to the dosa side. The bondas would go to the bonda KDS screen, and then the idli would go to the idli. We are trying to build, get what all we have learned in IT, because my husband is a network engineer, okay? So he wants to do all this, and also we wanted to do the online ordering system with our own app, and we wanted to have a kiosk in front of the restaurant wherein instead of waiting in the queue, you just go there, order, and then automatically it would come up to the KDS screens to the girls inside. And then you could use your app to send you could use your app to send a order to Chai and Dosa. You could order through our website, and I'm building my own website. So it's all integrated. I think whatever you learn, in your bachelor's, or whatever you learn in your life, you could still, take all that forward and implement in what you're doing right now. It's never disconnected. It's always there. We always read about IT articles till, even now. And then, we use a lot of storage systems, because he's into IT, like literally doing all that stuff with Chai and Dosa as well. So, but going back to the IT job, as in, sitting there and coding, that might not be possible for some other company, but for Chai and Dosa, yes, we are on it. We wanted to build our own app, and I want to be there, test it. I should only if I know, how the coding is done, how it's done in the backend, I would be giving my 100% to what we do as well. So yeah, when I integrate all of that.
I love it. What a great answer, Sree. So, I mean, you started your truck in 2018, I think, and then obviously, as you briefly mentioned, you had a fire, you've had a lot of challenges along the way, and then, of course, we've had COVID. And I'd love you to talk a little bit about, perhaps, just give people a bit of strength and courage for these difficult times. I know that you've also been impacted by staffing shortages, as, it's been so tough with isolation and Omicron and all that business. Just tell us about your mindset and approach to getting through this period.
Definitely. You know what, Dani, this is the right question at the right time, I would say, because 2 years ago, when this has all started, we have moved from a very small place to the bigger place that we are in right now. You know how big the place is right now. Yeah, we could host 25 cars in one go, like we could park. So the lease amount there was very less when compared to the lease amount that we are doing here, right? So as soon as we moved in, within a week or two, COVID has started. I know. And then within 2 weeks, government has asked, you have to shut it down or at least close before 9, right? And our business would start after 9 p.m. Okay. And then we had this fire accident way before this, as and when we thought, okay, we are out of the fire thing, we are slowly coping up, COVID has started. And then when we thought, okay, the COVID has done, okay, let's start 2 times, a day, and then let's continue until 12 o'clock. Suddenly the employment shortage has come. And then there are no students coming up, what else could go wrong? What else? What else is what else is left to go wrong? And then the first day when I heard, we had to close the truck before 9, we thought, let's just do whatever we can from morning to 9 o'clock, okay, continuously without giving a break in the afternoon. And then we thought, okay, let's do special breakfast. And then I thought, let's do special lunch. And then early dinner, and there would be like small like roti and curries and all that. We thought, let's just do that. As and when the issue hits us, you have to be a little creative and then go according to it. Okay. If you had I gone back and sat in my own room crying, trust me on it, we wouldn't have been here today. So the first approach that I wanted to, tell people is, do not panic. Nothing would go wrong. If you earned $500 a day, maybe you would be earning $250. Okay. But if you sit back home, what are you doing? You're putting pressure on your finances. You're putting pressure on your family, and then you will be left with zero by the end of the day, right? Come back, come out. Okay. Just go try. $10, $20, $30. That's all you need to keep going. The second day, people would think, hey, you know what? She's super strong. Let's go back to, let's go back and then try something else. Third day, fourth day, and the second week, third week, we had so much crowd standing in front, Dani. And then we had to hire more staff because people also had no jobs then. Remember, like initial days of COVID, people everybody were like so scared. They closed everything, and then not a single day chai and dosa was closed. Not a single day. Even the initial day when we were so scared of COVID, we didn't close. But of course, we had to take the measures needed, like distancing and sanitizing and rubbing with the sanitizer. All this has to be there. But then whatever is giving you the strength, that shouldn't stop. If that stops, you will definitely, fall behind, at least mentally. If financially you could come back tomorrow, day after, but then if you lose that grit, if you lose that confidence in you, it would take some time for you to come back again. So people, do not give up. Please keep on going, one day at a time. Today, tomorrow, and then 1 month, 2 months. Though, if I look back, of course, we could have done a lot, better than this. Of course, the restaurant would have started last year itself. Of course, we would have started another branch, but what went wrong? Nothing. People came to know that chai and dosa is very rigid and very firm, even in the worst of the days. We could still do, whatever we want to do. Even so, what else can happen? Everything has happened, right? Nothing. All is well in the future, is what I believe all the time. Yeah.
You feel like you've overcome so many challenges that you're bulletproof now.
See, exactly. You learn out of it, right? If you combat COVID, you know how to tackle the other disaster that comes to you in future. Like, what have you done? You have reduced the staff. You have given less hours. Instead of completely asking the staff, hey, please, leave the job and go. No, don't do that, because they need us, right? At least give them, instead of giving all 6 days a week, 7 days a week, just give them 3 days. You should be there for your staff as well. Then definitely when you need, then they will come forward to help you, right? Like today, my staff has been there for me from the past, 2.5 years. Not a single day they said, hey, you know what, this is not working out. I want to go back, look for another job. No, they have never said that. All credits to my staff, because they were always there and I was always there for them. So this is the kind of approach that I think every, entrepreneur should have. Like, give and take, right? So you always have to do your best, and then they're going to do their best. And yeah.
Love it. So, Sree, if someone is not familiar with dosa or idli or bunda and they're coming to visit you at Chai and Dosa, what do you think they should try first and what should they expect? Like, how will they know that it's a good example of the genre?
So the first thing is we have never deviated from the authenticity. If you want to have like that authentic South Indian breakfast, because we also have this for dinners and lunch as well. So, but for you guys, if you want to try the authentic South Indian food, Chai and Dosa is the place because the batters are grinded very fresh every day and fermented to perfection, and then the right amount of flavor, not too much, not too gaudy or and not too spicy, just to kill the flavor. It's all balanced. It's very well balanced because we taste every single dish that comes out of the pan, okay, and then the dosas are perfectly crisp, and then soft inside. And then the idli batter is very crucial to get that fluffy, soft idlis. And then the vada, usually we have a kind of bitter taste if it is not fermented well, okay? That you would never see in chai and dosa. And the masala chai, I would say, it's like the best in town for me, if you ask me. And then because I grind that particular masala that we put in the tea or the chai. And then the bonda is like to perfect because if the bonda is not round, imagine the simple thing that would have happened is it's not done well, it's not fermented well, or it's not the salt or whatever is to be added is not added correctly. In chai and dosa, you would never see any irregularities or soggy dosas or tough idlis. No. What you should expect from chai and dosa is the real authentic South Indian food. But then you have to wait a little bit to get that out of the pan straight to your plate. You at least need that 20 minutes, to stand there and wait for it. But once you hit it, trust me, that 20 minutes is worth it, worth waiting. So you can expect that. And, the mango lassi also, it's like the original lassi that you get in India with some nuts and then kova, you call it, like the sweetened milk. Yeah, so we add that and we make it. We never buy anything that we put in the food, okay? Like the end product. We make it. Even the kova, I make it every single day to put in the lassi. So it's all fresh. It's all healthy.
I didn't even know that you had lassies. That's another reason to come back.
You should.
Oh, so good, Sree. So, and I love the idea, I love the positive spin on the waiting time. I suppose there's always this idea that, that food truck food should be really quick, but I love the idea that, the fact that you have to wait is a sign of the quality of what you're doing, because you just can't make a good dosa quickly.
No. Also, how can you see, you order keema dosa, right? How do you give the keema dosa in 2 minutes? It's impossible. The pan should be at the right temperature. When the dosa is, being made, you have to have that ease of dosa to be, spreaded on the pan. Otherwise, the dosa would not be like that, that crisp and that soft inside. It has to take minimum of 12 minutes for the dosa to come out of the pan. And then by the time we put the chutney and then the allam chutney and then the sambar onto your plate and then this dosa onto your plate, we need that time. We need that 15 minutes. Anybody who is giving you dosa before that, please don't believe. No. It has to be minimum of 12 to 15 minutes for the dosa to cook, to be made, to be cooked so well, and then to get that crisp and, give it to you and for you to have it. Yeah.
Love it. Sree, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. It's, definitely time for me to come back and have some more dosa. It's so delicious. I have to have the lassi now as well, and I haven't even tried the chai. So lots of good reasons to come back. Good luck with getting the restaurant built. That's going to be so exciting. It's just, I'm just excited about everything you're doing. But thank you so much for sharing the chai and dosa story today.
Thank you, Dani. Thank you for having me. And then this is the right time in the right kind of encouragement that I was looking for, from somebody who, because we never went out asking for anything from anyone. Okay. You came like you were so supportive. You spoke to me, and then the vibe that you give me is like amazing. Thank you so much for recognizing us and having me today.
It's just my absolute privilege. You take care, and I'll see you soon.
You too. Bye.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtyLinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This